I got home from work and saw a black SUV at the gate. I saw the black SUV before I even reached the driveway. Tinted windows, engine still running, arrogance parked right outside my gate. My pulse didn't rise. No, it slowed. I knew what this was. She was inside. My wife. Sitting cool, collected, like she hadn't just polished someone else's crown. She didn't look at me with shame or even guilt. She looked at me with detachment, as if I was a chapter she had already closed. Then they stepped out. Two thugs, thick-necked, impatient. And behind them came the man, her new lover, the upgrade. He grinned like he owned my house, my life, even her. "Your wife is with me now," he said, voice dripping with mockery. We packed her things. I smiled, calm, too calm. If my wife chose betrayal, that's her choice. But tell me, why did you bring these two idiots with you? He chuckled. To break a couple of your ribs, loser. Just a little preventive measure. And then those dogs rushed me, their first mistake, their last. I'll admit it now, as if I'm in confession. I saw this betrayal coming months ago. The late-night calls, the fake errands, the sudden taste in perfume she never wore before. You don't live with someone for years and miss those cracks. At first I was angry, shattered, the kind of pain that steals the air from your chest at 3 in the morning. But then the anger cools, and when anger cools, it sharpens. I remembered the beginning, how she smiled at me in that cafe, how her laugh carried like music, how I swore to protect her, love her, build a future with her. And I did. I worked myself to the bone, sacrificed, gave her comfort, gave her security. She traded it all for cheap thrills. The day I knew for certain was a Sunday. She told me she was at her sister's. I drove past her sister's. No car. I circled back, and there she was, outside a hotel, wrapped around him like I never existed. That was the day my grief turned into something else. I didn't confront her, no. I played the long game. While she laughed with him, I was moving assets, shifting bank accounts, cutting her name from documents she thought were hers forever. Quietly, patiently, I stripped her from the empire I built. While she whispered in his ear, I was watching them, tracking them, recording their little escapades. Hotel bills, photos, videos, enough evidence to burn her in court and salt the ashes. She thought she was clever, but betrayal blinds people. It makes them arrogant, and arrogance is easy to exploit. Back to that night at the gate. The first thug swung. I slipped past his punch, drove my elbow into his jaw. He folded like wet paper. The second came harder, too wild. I ducked low, snapped his knee sideways, then cracked his ribs with a single kick. He was coughing blood before he hit the gravel. Her lover's grin faltered. That's when I stepped closer. "Preventive measure?" I whispered. "You should have prevented this." His bravado cracked. He backed away, eyes darting between his broken muscle and my calm face. And for the first time, my wife, sitting in that SUV, looked afraid. Not for me, for herself. She realized she'd chosen a man who couldn't protect her. But physical pain was never the heart of my plan. No, that was just an appetizer. The main course was already prepared. The next morning, divorce papers arrived at her new lover's doorstep. Every piece of evidence neatly attached. Her photos, her texts, her hotel bills. In court, she would lose everything. House, accounts, even dignity. And I didn't stop there. Her lover owned a business, shady enough that a little light would burn it down. I sent the authorities a full package. Financial irregularities, witness statements, recordings. Within weeks, his empire began to collapse. Investors fled, partners vanished. He thought he had taken my wife. In truth, I handed him a bomb, and he hugged it willingly. The confrontation came 3 months later, in the courthouse lobby. She approached me, hollow-eyed, makeup failing to cover sleepless nights. You ruined me, she whispered. I looked at her calmly. No, you ruined yourself. I just handed you the mirror. Her lover stood behind her, broken, his swagger gone. He wouldn't meet my eyes. He knew I'd gutted him in silence. That was the payoff. Not their tears, not their ruin, but the shift of power. Watching them realize they were never in control. Now I sit in my house, the same one they tried to desecrate. Alone, yes, but not broken. Stronger, sharper. People ask if I regret it, if I miss her. I don't. You can't miss a knife once you've pulled it from your back. Betrayal is a gift, really. It shows you the truth. And once you see the truth, you can't unsee it. So when I think of that black SUV at my gate, of her cold face, his smug grin, those thugs charging me, I smile. Because that was the night they thought they had me cornered. But I had already written the ending, and it wasn't theirs. It was mine.